THX. Oh boy, this is a company, alright. You're either a lover, a hater, or you're just scared of it. I'm more of a scared of it. Don't you dare click off this video. The reason why I'm making this video, or heck, this multi-part series I'm making, is because I want you to know if those THX entrepreneurs are trying to figure out how many VHS and DVDs have the THX logo of these Disney films. Or you're those people who are kind of scared of it and you want to know every thing so that you could stay away from it. And that's what we're doing. Originally, I was planning to show you what the deep note is, but then I realized ain't no way I'm getting copyright strike, and ain't no way I'm listening to that nightmare ever again. So I would suggest look up the THX logo if you're willing to. Anyway, enough chit-chatting, let's just get the video started. THX on Disney Home Media, Part 1. The Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. But first, a quick history lesson on THX. In 1982, George Lucas and his company, Lucasfilm, were preparing to release Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and the third film of the original Star Wars trilogy. But when George Lucas wanted to make the soundtrack wanted to make good, Tomlinson Holman, a Lucasfilm employee that started in 1980, created THX. Later, on May 20th, 1983, THX was made with an ear-catching deep note by James A. Morner. What is that deep note, you may ask? Well, let me try to recreate it. That's my impression. How'd I do? Anyway, back onto our subject. In 1993, The Abyss was released on Laserdisc, and it had THX, being the first time that it was used on that device. In this series, I am not doing Laserdisc. That is its own thing, only VHS and DVD. Speaking of, 2 years later, in 1995, the Star Wars trilogy, which includes A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, became the first THX certified VHS. In another 2 years, Twister became the first digitally mastered THX release on the new DVD format. Side note, this may not be interesting, but the first digitally mastered Blu-ray from THX had to be Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 2006. Just want to point that out. Now, look at this little guy. It's Tex the Robot, their mascot, which was created by, of all people, John Lasseter at Pixar. The first trailer was X, which shows him fix the thing, so yeah. It premiered in theaters with Independence Day in 1996. A year later, they made a second trailer, Moo Can, which Tex uses as a Moo Can to perform the deep note. That premiered in theaters alongside Alien Resurrection in 1997, and it premiered in some DVDs like Speed 2 Cruise Control and The Day the Earth Stood Still. 9 years later, a third trailer with Tex was called Action, where he does some dance moves. Yeah. And it premiered in theaters alongside Cars in 2006. And it premiered in some DVDs like District B13 and Brave Story. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let's just begin our story. This part will only include the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection tapes, aka the tapes released from 1997 to 1999. Nothing else after that. So, with that all said, let's begin. The first VHS THX release from Disney was in 1997 when they released Bambi. Whoa. What's with the music? Anyway, let's just continue. To celebrate its 55th anniversary in 1997, Disney announced with the release of Toy Story on VHS that they would digitally master the film for a new audience, with the film releasing on February 4th, 1997 in the US. However, it was only available in most stores until March 31st, 1997, where it went back into the Disney Vault. A couple months later, in July 15th, 1997, to celebrate its 50th anniversary, Fun and Fancy Free was released on store shelves for the first time, and it left to go back to the Disney Vault on January 31st, 1998, which surprisingly, it wasn't the only one. A couple months later, on September 16th, 1997, it was Sleeping Beauty's turn to wake up from its slumber. And it was also back to the Disney Vault on January 1st, 1998. The last of these January releases was The Jungle Book, released on October 14th, 1997 to celebrate the film's 30th anniversary. And of course, it ended its home video life on January 31st, 1998. And it made a commercial too, go figure. A month prior to Sleeping Beauty's home media release, Mary Poppins released on VHS with THX. And yeah, it just showed up. And I don't know when it returned to Disney Vault. However, in March of 1999, Disney did the unthinkable and reissued Mary Poppins with the THX logo as one of the last films of the Masterpiece Collection. And on another side note, it's the only Masterpiece Collection thing to premiere on the new DVD format at the time. The last of the 1997 VHS things was Old Yeller, also in October of 1997, around the same time as the Jungle Book's release. And again, I have no luck finding when it returned to the Disney Vault. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. To begin 1998, the first THX certified VHS was Peter Pan, which was released on February 24th, 1998, and then available until April 16th, 1998. After the re-release in 1997, Disney released The Little Mermaid for the second time on home video on March 31st, 1998, a month after Peter Pan, and surprisingly, it sold out fast, so much so that it ended on January 31st, 1999. It survived that long. On June... Then there's the interesting one. On June 2nd, 1988, to celebrate its 50th anniversary, Melody Time premiered on home video for the first time. But unlike 1999, where most of the Masterpiece Collection of VHS ended, Melody Time stayed until 2000, ending its run with the Gold Classic Collection taking its place. Later on September 15, 1998, Lady and the Tramp released with a full screen and a widescreen version of the film available, and it stayed on store shelves until January 31st, 1999, just like Peter Pan, I think. Or was it Little Mermaid? I don't know. The last of the THX, VHS, and things was 101 Dalmatians, released on March 9th, 1999, and it said that during its thing, that it would be available for 101 days, ending on June 18th, 1999, when Tarzan released in theaters. Also, it's worth mentioning that it was shown with a Mouseworks short film, Pluto Gets the Paper, which are two versions. The other one is on the Rescuers VHS, which I would like to talk about it, but I'm not mentioning that scene because I might get cancelled. After the 1999 VHS release of 101 Dalmatians, Disney was trying to experiment a bit, because in 1997, something came through. Twister became the new thing with a new format. And what is it called? DVD. And it only takes a matter of time until Disney starts to do it. And thus, a new chapter will come.